Hey guys, Tarke here, and I wanted to do a quick review of the new bleed Keystone and talk about Baeclast, and very briefly, my barber fucked up my fringe today, so while I've got a fresh trim on the sides, I no longer have a fringe, yeah. Bruh. Bear with me for the next 2 weeks while we wait for this to grow out slightly. Anyway, mildly annoyed. So they've come up with this new bleed Keystone, and people aren't too pleased with it. You can inflict bleeding on an enemy up to 8 times. Your bleeding does not deal any extra damage while the enemy is moving. 50% less damage with bleeding. So basically, it's at max stacks. It's like a 4 times bleed damage, except for it misses out on the whole moving while bleeding thing. So it's kind of takes the one interesting part of bleed and removes it, and just makes it another boring stacking poison-like effect, which is somewhat underwhelming. So, yes. There have been some pretty spicy memes on the Reddit, which have been doing pretty well. So there's Chili Charleston. Your bleeding no longer deals damage. Your bleeding has a chance to immobilize the enemy. You're as cold as ice. You're willing to sacrifice our love. See what you did there, my friend. Jade Disco, your poison no longer stacks. Your poisons deal X damage while the enemy is moving. 50% more poison damage. You can see what they went for there. My poison tastes so sweet. Your body cannot help but laugh. And then we have a Ember Party. You can inflict bleeding on an enemy up to 300 times. Gain 10% increased damage per bleeding enemy. Your bleeding does not deal extra damage while the enemy is moving. 90% less damage with bleeding. My blade feels so hot, your body cannot help but shake it, babe. Oh yeah. So yeah, people have been kind of disappointed that the best they could come up with is kind of just like an uninspired bleed mechanic, which takes away the interesting parts of bleed. And people have been wanting more suggestions sort of like this, which is actually something which kind of seems cool and or interesting. Boo. They should have made it something like Twist the Blade. When you apply a bleed to an already bleeding enemy, the overwritten bleed instantly causes 20 to 50% of its remaining damage to the enemy. Bleeding enemies no longer take increased damage while moving, probably some reduced bleed duration as well. That does decrease total bleed damage. Basically, even if you do or don't like this idea, it would be nice to have an interesting, unique mechanic rather than we can't make bleeds do damage, and the best way we can make bleeds do damage is by making bleeds a boring poison and removing the one interesting thing about bleed. Sad, sad face. As for Baeclast this weekend, again, if you missed out on my last update, Yoji has stepped away from the podcast. He's being a grown-up and focusing on IRL. We will all miss him and be sad, but, you know, sometimes you just gotta let it go, yeah. Just gotta let your little... I don't know why I keep thinking of Babe. Is there a point where they let the pig go free? I'm mixing my metaphors, but, like, you know, if you love something, you let it go, you know. Yeah. So, this Saturday coming, it will be Ziggy D, Rise QT, Cute Doge, and myself. So far we haven't planned any guests or anything. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. I'll let you know as for that. But there will be a Baeclast this Saturday coming. There have been some delays with the last turmoil, but with the 3.0 release so close around the corner with the 4th of August, hopefully, fingers crossed, we can have a really nice and smooth transition going forward with no more silly distractions and deadlines being pulled on us, which makes the whole podcast stuff very difficult. But yes, I am very much looking forward to going back into a nice, easy management when it comes to podcast stuff. There's nothing more frustrating than admin, and I hate admin. But yes, so with that, what do you think about Bleed? If you have any topic suggestions for the upcoming episode, then please do leave them below. How bad? It's not that bad, is it? Like, in all honesty, I'm upset because I had a fringe, but looking at it now, in like a week, it will be okay. Anyway, I'm Tarke. Have a good day. Bye-bye. Bye.